We are back into the wilderness once again, and I'm going to take you on this beautiful hill climbing route. We're still in the Chilterns, so the Chilterns, the hills, and the landscapes here are fantastic, as you probably gathered from my previous videos. And we are hill climbing today, so we'll should be able to see some spectacular views, I'd imagine. I've never done this hike before, but we're here today. It's a beautiful day, so let's get started. It's incredible. A few steps into this stunning woodland and it's already charming me. It seriously is beautiful. So where are we? We are in Pulpit Hill. So this area, Pulpit Hill, is within the Chiltern Hills, sort of secluded, only a little bit of parking, sort of a lay-by parking. So it's not difficult to find. However, you want to come here early so you can get a little bit of space to park, because there's nowhere else to park apart from the bottom of the hill, which is only a few spaces. So we're in Pulpit Hill in the Chilterns, and this is a charming place. I'm really not sure if there's a viewpoint here or not. I mean, it is called Pulpit Hill. Perhaps it's just a woodland at the top of a hill. But there's quite a bit of climbing. Not a huge amount, but there is a bit of climbing to do. So if you plan on coming to Pulpit Hill, bring some grippy shoes for sure, and also just to let the kids know that there will be a bit of hiking and hills to climb. I have a question for you. How do you, if you're a family man or a family woman or parents, how do you educate and inform your children about climate change, about our environment, about conservation, about preservation of people, about food, whatever it is to do with the earth? How do you inform and educate them? Do you depend on the schools to do that? Do you proactively engage them in understanding what our environment is about, what climate change is about? What do you do? And how often do you actually engage them in that topic? I know a lot of people who depend on the schools to do that, and yes, schools are doing it to a certain degree. Schools are informing the children, taking them out into woods, for example, forest school. But not all schools, and not as often as they should. So it's really important you drill down the basics of understanding our climate change, our environment, our natural spaces we take for granted, and inform your children about this. So let me know in the comment section, how often and do you inform and educate your children about climate change? How gorgeous is this? It's It's a beautiful woodland. That is a beech tree, but look at the trunk. Look how thick that is. That's one old tree. Nice piece of beech wood. And I also wanted to ask, when you do inform and educate your kids about climate change, our environment, the problems we're having, or the good things about our environment, do you actually take them out into nature and then explain to them? Do you take them out into the forest, into the woodlands, by the lake, by the rivers, camping? And when you're out there in your element, actually explain to them and educate them and teach them about our environment, about the protection, about the conservation, about climate change, the changes that are happening in our world today. Because I think that's the best way, is taking your kids, your family, and explaining to them about the problems, about the good things, educating them about how to conserve, how to leave no trace, and all this stuff is best done when you're in nature, when you're in your element and within the natural spaces. That's when it should be done, and probably that is when it has the most impact. I could see a little valley coming up in front of us, and the direction of the sun, the way it's hitting it, kind of implies there's a dip, and therefore there might just be somewhat of a viewpoint, because up until now I haven't seen a viewpoint yet. So it would be quite nice if there was a scenic setting, since we're quite high up on this hill. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh. Thorns and a great view. The pain goes away when you have a view. Unbelievable. Wow. This is it. I mean, this is the beauty of going to a new place, hiking it, not knowing what to expect, and then you see something that takes away your breath and your inhibitions and just makes you say, wow. I am so happy about hiking this Pulpit Hill. I'd heard about it, I'd seen it on maps, but never expected this. Because not all hills have panoramic views like this. There could be just stunning hills and hiking trails, could be just woodlands and forests, could be just meadows at the top of the hill, and not necessarily viewpoints like that. So for me to find the unexpected or the expected, because I did want to see something spectacular, is brilliant. I love it, absolutely love it. This has made this hike, which has been a very small hike, about a couple of miles all around, but it has made this hike one of my favorite hikes. Tell you what, it's not every day or every week that people come across viewpoints like this, panoramic views over villages, over other hills. It's not every week people get a chance to do this, but I seem to be making a habit of it. I think that can only be a good thing. It's down to every one of us to impact society. It's down to every one of us to impact our closest friends. It's down to every one of us to impact our children, for sure, about climate change, about our environment, about our natural spaces, spaces we take for granted. It may be up the road, but we've never been there. So think about it. The way to really impact them is to take them outdoors. Not far from Princess Risborough. So if you ever wanted to make a day trip or a few hours trip, then come to Pulpit Hill. It's lovely. If you're in London, Northwest London, Southwest London, West London, or just London, make a trip out here. Bring your bikes. Great mountain biking trails, and I've seen a few mountain bikers about. Fantastic mountain biking trails. So make the most of this. We have seen some fantastic woodlands, great hiking trails. We have seen a panoramic viewpoint to die for. And where the panoramic viewpoint is, there is a nice hill meadow. So you can bring a picnic and a picnic blanket. Now, one more thing. Remember what I said. How do you educate and inform your kids and the people around you about climate change, nature, environment, conservation? Impact them and educate them by bringing them outdoors and bringing yourself outdoors. As simple as that. You got to do it. Please subscribe right there or down here. Hit that like button and leave me a comment about how you educate your kids about the environment. And I will see you out and about.